can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my blood. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, bull riding in boots. Cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
verbose.xyz. One trip through the craziest Rockstar game ever, and you end up on the other side fucking listening to Old Town Road and humming Panini under your breath. I'm the mad scientist, Miles Lord. I am coupled with my man, Black Killer Mike, tonight. Believe it or not, he's on the show, a.k.a. My Dick Run Hot, a.k.a. Black Jesus, a.k.a. 2-for-1 Arby's Special, a.k.a. Crafter is his actual given name. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am just cruising down that Old Town Road. It's just so deep in Red Dead Redemption. So happy PC version came out. Fuck.
Are you happy about it?
I mean, no. I mean, I'm miserable about it because it's going to take over most of my life. But it's such a beautiful game where I can just slaughter people and tie them up and kidnap them and hold them hostage and do all the sociopathic things that society doesn't let me do.
I feel like that's what Rockstar games are all about, is this like total stress ball, like stress reliever, virtual reality, fucking Westworld kind of deal where you can go and rape and pillage. It's beautiful. It's genius, actually.
Yeah, they should have named it Westworld. That would have been a great title.
Fucking Westworld.
Who cares? Just a robot. Shove the shotgun up her pussy.
Exactly. You ever seen what a 45 can do to a woman's pussy? Now that's something you should see.
Blammo!
Bye, Blammo. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I guess that's more 50s. I don't know. Whatever. All time bullshit. It's cool, though. Really into it.
Yeah, same. Oh my god, dude. Like, PC version, PC Master Race. If you all didn't know, now you know. PC motherfucking Master Race. And, wow, the graphics. Like, you could say that about a lot of video games, but, and I guess I've kind of skipped the whole Rockstar thing altogether. I stopped playing GTA games in, like, after San Andreas, right? Like, I probably played, like, 5 minutes of 4, if that. Never owned a 360 and never bothered to buy these games on PC. But, so, like, I don't know, maybe it's something that I missed, but the attention to detail in this game, like, you get kicked by a horse and fucking fall into the mud, and, like, your left side is all covered in fucking mud, and then when you go into the cinematic scene, that same pattern exists there. Like, it's, like, seamless between your traveling scenes on a horse on a mountain, and then, like, it's showing the cityscape and, like, or not the cityscape, showing, like, the skyline and, like, this beautiful view, you know, and then like zooming you back into your body and boom, you're there. Like, otherworldly experience, man. I found myself for the first time in a really long time getting lost in a video game.
Yeah, and the horse is shit, so that really adds to the immersion level.
The horses do shit. It's amazing. Fucking a shout out to El Japo out there on Twitch. Thanks for hanging out, man. And you know what I'm talking about, that Red Dead Redemption 2. Fuck yeah. Dude, I could literally go on about it too, man. It's been consuming me. It's all I want to do with my life. It was very hard to prepare for this show tonight, for the simple fact that I knew that all I really wanted to do is play Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, it's only been out one day, you know, so fuck. Crack cocaine. First hit's free.
We obviously love all of you tonight to be here. And if you ain't here because you're playing Red Dead Redemption 2, well, don't blame you. And if you're watching this later, fucking cool as fuck. You ever want to... can you play as a wiener? I want to so bad. If I could play every character in life, including my IRL character, as a wiener, I think I would. As a matter of fact, some say that I am the captain of Wiener Town.
Yes.
Not only am I a member, but I'm also the president. Fuck yeah. But I mean, video games in general, just so life encompassing. And it's so easy to let them like rule and take over your life. I definitely feel that. I mean, I've legitimately made conscious decision in my life to not play a video game because I knew how much it would absorb my life. For example, World of Warcraft, a game I've never played that I know would fuck me up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason I never got started with prostitutes, you know?
Oh, they're easy to dump, bro. And bury. And no one misses them. Wait, what?
What? Okay, so that's the end of the show.
Right, exactly. Could you imagine fucking pulls fucking all outlets pull plugs all at once, talking about prostitution murder? If you're a prostitute out there and you're offended, I apologize. Prostitutes are people too. I believe that Tulsi Gabbard would say the same thing, and she would want to protect your rights, so that mass murdering psychos that just want a fucking quick corpse don't, pick low-hanging fruit. You guys become people again too. Vote Tulsi Gabbard. Prostitutes are people too.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, and I think that's a possibility if she becomes president and legalizes prostitution, that maybe she's available. I mean, the price is negotiable, of course.
She'll be out, in the National Guard defending our country. Fucking. So yeah, I don't think she has time to whore herself out, so to speak. Especially if she's the president. Could you imagine?
I slut.
Imagine dragons. Fucking, I'm saying imagine all the time. I'm very impressionable. Have you noticed that about me? Fucking people say shit, and then I just pick up, I absorb it.
Yeah, imagine it all. Imagination land.
Imagine you and me.
And that's really the plague taking a part of most of modern politics. I feel is imagination. That's it. It's people coming up with these ideas of what could happen without ever realizing that it probably won't.
Right? Totally. And I feel like bills are built on that as well these days. It's like, I feel this way. I think that a large portion of America feels this way. And I have my finger on the pulse of what the people want. So I'm going to push this narrative. Yeah. But not thinking about, logically how to pull that shit off. I think on this podcast, I've said before that like Elizabeth Warren has their numbers worked out better than any of the other Democratic socialists on the stage right now. I don't maybe know if that's true. Maybe that if that is true, then Bernie really sucks. You know what I mean? But I don't know. There's so much conflicting information out there of what a large taxation would do for our country. But if you look at any other socialist regime around the world, you just see like a stark future for America. What do you think? What say you?
I mean, first point, how the fuck doesn't Bernie have these numbers? I mean, from my point of view, this motherfucker's been running for president since 2014. I mean, what the fuck's going on, man? You didn't have time to crunch the numbers in that time? You've been trying to get this position longer than anyone in my recent memory besides Ross Perot. I mean, like, what the fuck's happening? It definitely does seem like a bleak future without with no one in politics or in higher echelons of world governments taking any of the real issues that are coming up seriously, like wealth inequality, or with I don't want to go as far like Greta, whatever her name is,
Greta Thunberg,
with climate change and say it's over, the sky's falling, but. There's definitely there's lots of issues that need to be taken care of, and no one wants to take a logical, scientific approach to any of it.
And the environment is definitely one of those things. It's definitely one of those things. But if you sensationalize the idea and you sensationalize and generalize, it distracts from the real issues. Yeah. Oh, climate change, global warming, right? Like global warming is such a big idea. But what about in your backyard? What's lining the pockets of the people the legislators in your area. You know, what chemicals are in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay
Yeah.
and giving your son bitch tits with fucking fluoride and shit. You feel me?
Why will none of these fucking, climate initiatives just call out Coca-Cola, which is the world's largest polluter? I mean, it's been documented in multiple reports that, they produce more plastic, they produce more waste, more, CO2 emissions in shipping. I mean, Coca-Cola is the largest polluter in the world, and no one wants to stop them.
Why don't we hear like massive talk about fracking?
I mean, there is some fracking news lately. I think in UK they stopped all fracking until they have
Yeah,
more
that's right.
geological studies.
Wow. So they're just going to observe the downfall of the American country, landmass. And once we fucking pummel ourselves, they're like, all right, cool. Yeah, I guess fracking was a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching V for Vendetta yesterday, remember the 5th of November. And like in that movie, the situation there is in the future, and England is a totalitarian state, controlled by weird extremists who poisoned their own country to get power, and America is in the midst of civil war and extreme disease like leprosy. So that's what V for Vendetta says.
Wow. I think that Alex Jones would agree with you. I think Alex Jones would agree with that. I think that a lot of people on the far right now will agree with that. I think that that's the next plan. That's the next idea, is to villainize certain groups in America, and then it becomes a free-for-all, and we're back to another civil war.
Or just black bagging people and disappearing them.
Right, China style.
Yeah, China style.
I don't think that'll happen here. I think before our rights are taken away on that level, there will be people that will go to arms. And that's funny that I say that because that's perpetuating that same narrative that people like Alex Jones are doing. Shout out to Alex Jones, by the way.
And the show.
and it's over. Plug's been pulled like half an hour ago, but I still have another point about Alex Jones.
The fucking frogs are turning gay. This is Alex Jones.
I think that's the problem, though, is that we're not at a place of civil war yet. Sure, you want to, always be vigilant, but at the same token, like when you're out there yelling, like, I'm reading the tea leaves, this is what's going to happen, like, cops are going to be shooting Antifa on the street because they're going to get sick of it and they're patriots and all this. And that's just not a good way to put it. That's not a lawful way to think about it.
Its imagination is going wild. Like, and it's even like if you're like a right winger and you're thinking about Antifa, like those kind of concepts come with like, you remember those couple guys who threw shit and punched people and did a whole bunch of shit and destroyed violence. I was like, okay, maybe. Let's say 50% of the people there. Let's just give a big estimate. 50% of Antifa was being violent, destroying shit, just for sake's argument. You're still imagining that every single Antifa in the street is that 50% of people. You're ignoring the other half of fucking people there that were not violent. And the same thing goes with, I think, with the right wing. Like, there's a lot of protesters, a lot of people was out there in Make America Great hats, and the left wants to picture them all as the most extreme version, the most racist, the most ignorant, the most bigoted, and not think of the people who are more towards, the center middle.
I think that anybody that's representing that's never been to a protest, there is a possibility that they are nonviolent. And if you want to give it the liberal spin on speech, I would make an exception for their speech being exceptionally violent and talking shit, right? But I can almost guarantee you that more like 80% of the people that go to one of these events, and mostly Antifa, go there for the sake of violence. It's this us versus them, go fucking brawl it out in the street. I think both sides, that's their idea. And the optics on that are shown in like independent media. Like you see all this shit, the fucking mainstream media doesn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. They show you a few pictures and tell you Antifa is the fucking winner. And then Fox News shows you a couple other pictures and say that they're the enemy. Do you know what I mean? But the real ones holding it down, giving you the fucking inside scoop are those guys fucking with phones that post shit to YouTube, really.
And what percentage of the population do you think would be Antifa? Like, let's say, even an extreme city like Portland, what percentage of the total population of the city is part of one of these groups or comes to one of these protests?
I would say that part of one of these groups, I would say it's probably like, I mean, you're going to see the biggest percentage of it in a place like Portland. That of the 20% of Democratic voters in that area that are probably Antifa, you probably see only like 8 to 10% of them coming out.
Yeah.
You
So
know what I mean?
isn't it weird for like the kind of speech like Alex Jones is giving to say, you know, there's going to be a civil war? Like he's imagining, he's pushing these beliefs of this very small statistic of a group of people up to a whole population like 49 to 50% of the country. I mean,
Yeah.
he's ignoring like, you know, Democratic voters who live on farmland in fucking Nebraska. Like it just seems like it's definitely just like a shift. It's trying to polarize the argument. It's the same thing that Fox or CNN is doing, is choosing a side and taking that and only looking for information that confirms your ideas.
Professional wrestling, you know, you hear me said it a million times. You heard it here first. Verbose.xyz, fucking professional wrestling politics. And again, there's got to, it's a defined heel and a defined hero. And in your mind and the way your psyche is, interpret it's which side of the fucking, you know, who's the baddies or who not. But that's not reality by any fucking means. I think that if we were to look at some legitimate poll, and again, I'm riffing here, you know, I have nothing to back this up. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass, left and right. I mean, it's just falling out like a gaping asshole. I digress. But, you know, like, if you look at the main group of this population, we're somehow to get like a census of like, you know, the United States, like, total attitude towards politics and government and self-governance and all these things, you would find more of a middle of the road, you know, overlooming middle of the road. I think that even you look at like Mark Dice videos where he's going out and interviewing people, he had to probably get through a lot of people, a lot of edits to get to the point where he got enough retards to make his fucking video worth it. Again, making us seem stupider, making one side seem stupider than the other. You know, these are just tactics. Go outside of your fucking house and go talk to someone out in the street. As long as they're not homeless or on drugs, you'll probably be able to get along, you know, on some sort of level, right? No.
And I really don't know anyone personally who wants to give up internet porn and give up fucking watching TV so they can shoot people so they can change the redistribution of taxes. Like, is that really your fucking goal? Because we already live in a pretty authoritarian fucking place where the fucking federal government will barge in your fucking door for almost anything. I mean, when you see like weird examples of, you know, who will get like raiding dispensaries in California after the state legalized, or the Bundy situation, or Waco situation, or Fast and Furious situation, or Iraq invasion without evidence. I mean, you already see like a very totalitarian government that, you know, like is lots of power, and I mean, it almost unchecked by the civilian population. Like, is the big revolution just going to change where the tax dollars go? Because you're still going to pay taxes no matter who wins.
I feel that's the case, unless we went, you know, straight anarchy.
Yeah, I mean, or unless someone comes up with some amazing, you know, unifying system of doing these things. But if we're just trying to change it to one of the pre-existing ones, it's not going to work. No one's all in agreement on this.
I think El Japo might be in. Last comment. I want to shoot people for no reason.
I mean, you can go join multiple companies and do that in the Middle East today.
Yeah, Blackwater, is that one?
Yeah, they've changed their
mercenary
name.
group?
I think they're called like Cube Systems or something now. Who knows?
Interesting. Innovating precision around the world. Like, that would be cool. Fucking start a mercenary group.
Yeah, it's legal.
Is it legal?
As long as you're not in the United States.
And this incitement, dude, it's so rampant. even as we talk tonight, it's like easy to see why people would go there. It's obvious that America has headed on its short and quick growth to fucking the need for some sort of reformation. I mean, there's other places that need reformation way more than us, but within our infancy, we still need that reformation. But like the idea of violence is the first thing we go to, and you see it on all the media outlets. So it's hard to like talk about it and talk about what the media is putting out without like feeling like you're inciting it a little bit too. It's almost like the wavelength that we're all traveling on right now. This
Late stage capitalism. Yeah, I mean, El Japo says it to us, multiple times, but I feel that's definitely that's kind of hitting the nail on the head there. It's this unavoidable problem that we just can't get out of because the system wasn't built for this kind of longevity.
But again, I think it's unfair, and I think we beat this dead horse, but I like beating dead horses. Shout out to Red Dead Redemption 2. That like what we have currently is not capitalism. I would say that the closest we got, maybe now I'm talking myself out of what I'm thinking here, because like you could look at purer forms of capitalism, like even in the Wild West. Whoa, fucking blowing my mind right now. Whereas, and then like even through the 80s, like the markets were so much more built around making money quick and everybody getting their cut and stuff like that. And then things just kind of like bloated out from overlooming old pots of money coming in and swooping through everybody's fun. Yeah. Late stage capitalism. And weird thought.
Every year adds more regulation usually and more laws, or they close a loophole that that we could have taken advantage of to maintain their positions.
You ever notice that like as boomers get older, they get more and more socialist?
Yeah, okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer? Never mind. That was bad.
That's
that's the new meme. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer.
Yep.
Not like your phone is you're trying to like access Google or something.
It'll think it's the same, so it's obviously programmed into there.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking shout out if you're fucking watching us for the first time. Super appreciate you. We're on all the millions and billions of platforms. Most notably that we hang out is on the Twitch platform. You can find us at twitch.tv/verbose_xyz. Hit us up there. We're also on YouTube. Look up verbose.xyz. I stream to all kinds of shit. We're on DLive, all that cool shit.
And
shout out to all the platforms.
If we're not on something, feel free to download shit, upload it somewhere else. I don't care. You care?
Yeah, not at all. Please take our shit and pirate it for the steal this podcast. For the love of God, please steal this podcast. Someone take him. All of them.
Yeah, put it on cassette tape and send it to your friends in fucking Yemen. It'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fucking cool as shit, right? That's one thing that's very interesting to me with the Middle East paradigm and like our relations with Israel and things like that, and then like our current president. Because as much as we want to say like Donald Trump and the Republican Party, these are the good guys and they're sticking up for us and they care about America first. Don't you think like, but I mean, try to put yourself in the average, like, I'm not going to give up on Trump mindset. And you've heard me. I've been on the Trump train. I've ridden on that train.
God.
You know what I mean? But put yourself in that mindset. It's it's fucking November 6th, 2019. And you're still a Trump person.
I mean, it's very like much the same as like a religion, or a left would call a cult. Like he just tells you it's going to be better, and you have to believe it because he doesn't want to provide evidence, and he won't tell you how he did it, but he's telling you it's going to get better. And and it's just like pure faith. Like you have to believe in what he's saying. He's like, well, he's the president, and that's an important position, and you don't doubt the person in that position. It's like, God damn it. But they need to provide evidence. And it's like, it's weird that the same party who questioned Obama so much now has no questions.
Right, exactly. On some really weird things like Trump like didn't okay, you gave Donald Trump Jr. all your shit, right? But like he's going to be making money off that and like you're going to go back to owning that after the presidency and then now Trump Jr. is all over and traveling with you internationally. And you guys have made some like I think I heard somewhere it was like 56, maybe 86 billion they've made since Trump has been in presidency. Not billion, I'm sorry, million. And maybe it's in the past year. So like the past year, somewhere around there, like close to 100 million hitting around there. And you know, just fucking the family has full access to that White House. And why is Jared Kushner there? And I feel like the excuse that Jared Kushner there is like, oh yeah, fucking he's brokering a trade deal in Israel, and with Israel and Palestine, but like also taking tons of money from Israel, seeming like you're leading us to believe like, hey, you think this is going to be a fair trade deal between the two? Anyways,
it's I feel it's crazy. Even if these are qualified people, and that's a long stretch. By hiring your own family, that's fucking the definition of nepotism. I mean, is that how you want to fucking run a capitalism? Is that how you want to talk about like equal rights or fucking, like the best candidate gets the job or any of those ideas that the Republican Party wanted to run on for so long? I don't know. How did it shift so drastically because of one candidate who, by all means, multiple marriages, multiple failed companies, bankruptcies. I mean, why throw all your eggs in this basket?
I don't know. I mean, like on paper, I like the idea of having some businessman run the country. One that runs the country like a business without using his influence and his tendrils. It's like an impossible thing to ask completely. Like, I think once you get into business and you get so far deep into it, part of what makes you good at it is who you know. And you can't look me dead in the face and be like, Trump is not doing anything or making any connections with anyone in the world that he's not making money, that, he's making money off. He's donating all of the pay he's getting as president. He's donating it all. Dude, you can't tell me seriously that he's not profiting off of sitting in that seat and the connections he's making and the side deals he's able to make through his proxy of his fucking family sitting there, who he signed the fucking papers over of Trump organization to.
And no president who's taken office needed that salary. There was never a significant amount added to their income because of that. I mean, Obama was even a millionaire before he entered office. I mean, there was no reason the $400,000 a year was something he was hurting for.
Obama was a millionaire?
Yeah.
Before he entered office? Like, how did he make his money?
Who knows? Investments, lying and being a Muslim and being paid by foreign countries to become president of the United States. I don't know.
El Chapo has a good point here. Obama didn't have bitch tits, so
yeah, that was Michael.
So true. Yeah, Michael has bitch tits. Indeed, good correction there, Crafter. I totally am right there with you.
I would like to say on the record that I believe Michelle Obama is a woman, but the idea of her having a massive dick bigger than Obama's is very entertaining.
It's funny, yeah, exactly. I will not go on record to whether I think Michael is a dude or not, but I'm willing to entertain the idea that he is.
I would be down to inspect the genitals of said person and confirm, full inspection.
Okay then. Interesting.
I got Miles speechless for once.
It's like, dangerous homosexual. How would you say that? Like,
if Michelle Obama is a man, is he circumcised?
No.
But
No.
to be a Muslim, he would have to be. So does that mean Obama is also not a Muslim?
Well, I think that it's okay for Barry to be in love with a non-Muslim transgendered individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds awesome.
I would say Michael is not Muslim, but Barry is.
That's some mental gymnastics right there.
The
Republican Party,
deep
folks.
Deep tonight, verbose.xyz, leaning right on the left side of issues. So yeah, fucking I got some clips for us tonight.
Oh,
I know
I
you
love
like clips. Yeah. And I got some good ones tonight too. Last week, I know we cut things kind of short, and I want to throw this out there because I think Crafter was a little bit embarrassed on this, but we ended on kind of a racist note. But it was only because I shut the show off too earlier than Crafter expected.
Yeah, I was doing a LeBron impression, but it mostly was just an impression, the worst impression of a black man in horrible slang that I could come up with. Sounded nothing like LeBron. Very racist. Sorry, LeBron. You're an idiot, but you didn't deserve that still.
Setting back the black race 10 years with his comment on fucking China.
Yeah, the man did it.
It was, just let him play basketball. Just let him play basketball. He don't need to involve himself in politics. Oh, that's the racist thing you're talking about. That was my impersonation of Dennis Rodman. But I feel it was slightly more accurate. Don't you?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the goal is to try to sound like the individual, not a caricature of their race.
The first time I broke my dick, motherfucker broke his dick, I think 3 times. Dennis Rodman, you are a legend in some ways and a retard in others. There, I said it. So last week I cut out kind of early. Oops, my bad. And I did miss out. We did miss out on some of the things that I wanted to kind of present. One of those being AOC and Mark Zuckerberg going at it in government land, and the android looks stiff, but he's right leaning these days. Did you hear that? Do you hear that Mark Zuckerberg is sticking up for conservatives? Have I mentioned that?
Probably his Chinese wife.
Shut the fuck up. He's rebelling against his Chinese wife?
Yeah. She controls the house, so I control my vote, bitch.
I lost all my friends because of you.
Zuckerberg.
He's going from beta to omega.
Yeah,
overnight.
give me some of that AOC overlaid with that Zuckerberg.
Oh yeah, so this clip, AOC, Facebookness, this is re-released through Yahoo News. I can't remember who originally did this, but it's good shit. It's about a 5-minute clip, but it'll give you a good idea of fucking Mark Zuckerberg. Can he hold his own? And AOC. And how good her fucking lawyer team is. It just blows my mind. I miss you, AOC. Here we go.
It's good to see you, Mr. Zuckerberg. I think you, of all people, can appreciate using a person's past behavior in order to determine, predict, or make decisions about future behavior. And in order for us to make decisions about Libra, I think we need to kind of dig into your past behavior and Facebook's
Libra's the
past behavior
cryptocurrency that
democracy.
Facebook is making, obviously.
Mr. Zuckerberg, what year and month did you personally first become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
I'm not sure of the exact time, but it was probably around the time when it became public. I think it was around March of 2018. I could be wrong, though.
Mm-hmm. When did Facebook's COO Sheryl Sandberg become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You don't know. Did anyone on your leadership team know about Cambridge Analytica prior to the initial report by The Guardian on December 11th, 2015?
Congresswoman, I believe so, and that some folks were tracking it
Just
internally.
walked him into that trap.
And
I'm actually, as you're asking this, I do think I was aware of Cambridge Analytica as an entity earlier. I don't know if I was tracking how they were using Facebook specifically.
when was the issue discussed with your board member, Peter Thiel?
Her authors are clever.
Congresswoman, I don't know that often.
You don't know. This was the largest data scandal with respect to your company that had catastrophic impacts on the 2016 election. You don't know?
Well, Congresswoman, I'm sure we discussed it.
No, I don't have the fucking lawyers you have.
after we
Let's
were
dig up
aware
the
of
most
what happened.
specific shit.
You announced recently that the official policy of Facebook now allows politicians to pay to spread disinformation in 2020 elections and in the future. So I just want to know how far I can push this in the next year. Under your policy, using census data as well, could
Realistic
I pay to
example
target
comes in.
predominantly black zip codes and advertise them the incorrect election date?
No,
Dropping the black
Congresswoman,
card.
Couldn't. We have, even for these policies around the newsworthiness of content that politicians say and the general principle that I believe that.
But you said you're not going to fact check my
But
ads.
we have, if anyone, including a politician, is saying things that can cause, that is calling for violence or could risk imminent physical harm or voter or census suppression when we roll out the census suppression policy, we will take that content down.
So you will, there is some threshold where you will fact check political advertisements. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, Congresswoman, yes, in specific things like that, where there's imminent risk of harm.
Could I
I've
run
been
ads
smoking
targeting Republicans in
wanna smoke my
primaries
weed.
saying that they voted for the Green New Deal?
Let me just make a crypto, okay,
Can you repeat
AOC?
Would I be able to run advertisements on Facebook targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted
I
for the
wonder if
Green
she has
New
like a
Deal?
flow chart, or is this
I mean, if
like
you're not fact checking political
written out in a
advertisements, I'm just
big
trying to understand
paragraph,
the bounds here.
or
She's
could she follow
definitely-
this herself?
I,
Is she that smart?
I don't know
She
the
might
answer to
be,
that
I
off
don't
the
know.
top of my head. I think
No.
You don't know if I'll be able to do that.
She's definitely referring to a page.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad. That's different from it being, for in our position, the right thing to do to prevent your constituents or people in an election from seeing that you had lied.
So you won't take down lies or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Congresswoman,
I'm not talking about spin. I'm talking about actual
yes, in most cases, in a
disinformation.
democracy, I believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
So
are
you
saying,
won't take
judge
them
their
down.
character for themselves.
So you won't. You may flag that it's wrong, but you won't take it down.
Congresswoman, it depends on the context that it shows
No.
up. Organic post, ads, the treatment is a little
One
different.
more question. In your ongoing dinner parties with far-right figures, some of who advance the conspiracy theory that white supremacy is a hoax, did you discuss so-called social media bias against conservatives, and do you believe there is a bias?
What dinner party?
Congresswoman,
I smoked my meats.
so I don't remember everything that was in the question.
That's all right. I'll move on. Can you explain the reasoning of the Daily Caller, a publication well-documented with ties to white supremacists, as an official fact checker for Facebook?
Congresswoman, sure. We actually don't appoint the independent fact checkers. They go through an independent organization called the Independent Fact Checking Network that has a rigorous standard for who they allow to serve as a fact checker.
So you would say that white supremacist-tied publications meet a rigorous standard for fact-checking? Thank you.
Congresswoman, I would say that we're not the one assessing that standard. The International Fact Checking Network is the one who is setting that standard.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman
God.
here. Are you interested in
Zach
learning more
Guzman.
about the
No,
markets
We're
and
not
getting the latest
interested.
financial-
Shout out
Jesus
to Zach.
fucking Christ.
I
I don't even remember your name, bro. You can go fuck yourself. For real, though. AOC, amazing work.
It was impressive. Some drilling questions. I mean, I don't know. Was she coached beforehand? I mean, I would really like to know. I would like to see like behind the scenes of AOC. It'd be a really nice documentary. It really would.
Yeah,
It'd be impressive.
I agree. Have you seen the other AOC documentary?
Which one?
The one on Netflix of her come up?
No.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's like
I
it's
need
a
to
really
watch this shit.
it's like an Americana
I'm
portrait.
gonna watch
of,
this right now.
It's an Americana portrait of AOC. It's actually very patriotic too. Like it paints this picture of like, oh wow, this girl came from like meager beginnings to make it in Washington D.C. But then you look at her fucking career and how she comes in there like a fucking, an egomaniacal fucking doctor or not doctor, Wizard of Oz kind of character with a fucking crazy lawyer, legal department, and like the speeches are well written. If that's all her work, I really doubt it is. If that's all her work, she's a fucking genius. Like the questioning is amazing. Her counterpoints to everything she's thrown at, it's fucking incredible. Like AOC, what she got going on is good. I don't agree with majority of what she had, but I'll let you suck my dick for real. Enough said. You come, you say no more, fam. Come here. You put those fucking snaggletooths on my fucking dick. We good. So yeah, I missed you, AOC. And Mark Zuckerberg, I feel like you got owned, but at the thing you needed to do at the end, instead of being like, Congressman, please listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, you should have shut up and said, you know what? No, we're not taking down political speech because everyone has a right to put their voice out. And the public opinion, the public discourse has the right to experience what people are throwing out there. If you want to be retarded, then be retarded. We're going to judge you for it. What happened to like mob rule? That doesn't exist anymore in these environments where you're fucking, where like, I don't know, man. Fucking where you're not like, use your words, man. No.
Yeah.
Allow.
Or didn't you watch fucking Dave Chappelle? Fifth. Mr. Zuckerberg, did you do fifth?
Fifth.
No further questions. Fifth.
If it was only that easy.
Yeah. It is that easy. It is that fucking easy.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Goddamn.
Fifth.
Oh yeah. Huh. Wow. But Mark Zuckerberg, just stop kowtowing and just be like, bitch, I own Facebook. I've seen your nudes. Fuck around. Give me government support. And shut the fuck up.
And in Mark Zuckerberg's defense, though, like, who would have fucking known that advertisements on a fucking webpage was fucking enforceable by fucking Congress and their standards? Who fucking knew? Did anyone ever tell anybody? I don't know. Is there any fucking laws about it? Definitely not.
But at the same token, Facebook and fucking Google and these companies have taken on major they've been given major grants by the government. It's like they're beholden to them to begin with, and this isn't the first time Zuckerberg's been before Congress. And I think part of it is his coming out and being scolded as Igor and being put back into the laboratory to do experiments.
Yeah.
And now that he's starting to revolt, it's like the government's ganging up on him. But
yeah.
He's beholden to him already. He took their money. He fucking drank their Kool-Aid, bro.
True. But I still feel like they're trying to find a boogeyman because there was no congressional hearing when I kept getting advertisements about, getting my dick bigger, and my dick never got bigger.
But your dick do run hot. That's for sure. Fucking don't look behind the curtain. Chiclets? Fifth. This is all recaps of a Japanese American. And at Crafter, so deep. You are so deep, it turns out, and we appreciate you for that.
Deep.
Speaking of deep, this next clip is from someone that I disagree with as well. And normally I don't give a shit how eloquent he is, because that means nothing to me. If you're fucking, spitting on me and trying to tell me it's rain, you can go fuck yourself.
I like them polished turds, man. I like it.
Not a fan. I think that's
things.
That's one of Trump's endearing traits, is that he takes the veil off of politics. He's so dumb about how he presents shit out there to the public that it just rips the veil off of what the government's actually doing and exposes its true intentions. For example, the whole fucking Syria thing, right? Pulls out troops to try to make America better, love him more. America hates him for it. Fucking throws back in troops, takes out al-Baghdadi, right? America still hates him for it. Fucking, but then at the same token comes out publicly and is like, we did good in Syria. We made sure that the Kurds are all right or whatever. And we secured the oil, kept it out of the hands of our enemies. But there lies the truth about what you're fucking doing there is you wanted the oil. Don't fucking try to tell me that you're fucking trying to protect the Kurds or whatever. And we want to secure the oil so the terrorists don't get it. It doesn't get in their hands. Fuck you. I thought we were the most oil sufficient area that there possibly could be. You know, what is this? What is this all about? Again, the veil has been ripped off.
It's
so
really,
again,
the old school ploy, the same as every other administration, same as George W. Bush, same as Obama. Get the oil and use tons of drone strikes to do it.
Yeah, and fun fact, Obama pales in comparison to the amount of drone strikes that your man Donald Trump has been rocking on. President Donald Trump, my bad. But anyway, so speaking of polished turds, we got Barack Obama here on CNN with something that I actually agree with a little Barry Satora. Here we go. A little bit of an intro from your boy Don Lemon. Here we go.
The former president and first lady Barack and Michelle Obama holding their third annual Obama
Barry.
Foundation Summit in Chicago earlier today. They took audience questions and spoke
Barry
about
Satora.
empowering the next generation of leaders. They also talked about racism and how to be
Did
effective
they?
political activists.
Very
Wow. Now Charles Blow is here, Jen Psaki as well. So good to have both of you on. Thank you so much.
Good to be here.
Jen, the former president,
Listen to
talked
that
about
voice. The voice
being
of an
a
angel
little
with
too
no
pious
penis.
about politics. Listen.
This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is
Oh,
messy.
shit.
There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself. Because, man, you see how woke I was? I called you out. Let me get on TV, watch my show, watch Grownish. That's not activism. That's not bringing about change.
Who's that message?
That's pretty good, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but fuck you sitting around trying to accuse everybody of shit. Fuck you, like, trying to say, like, oh, I'm better than you because I knew this or whatever. And then I'm going to go about my ignorant life of fucking watching my shows and shit. Like, I think that it speaks directly to the point.
And how much does Facebook really affect elections anyway? If it's just people sitting on their ass commenting on bullshit they have no idea about and going back to watching fucking HBO Go.
It's all a facade. It's all a facade, baby. Again, the professional wrestling defense. We put up a good enough smoke screen. Everybody's just chill. Fucking see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, you do a lot of typing. But it doesn't really, it's all this internalization. We might as well just implant the computers into our skulls, and fucking get it over with and leak our very thoughts to one another on this web matrix of consciousness. Because otherwise you're just fucking, you're rotting in a pod somewhere, the battery to the actual machine. I want to be the actual machine, bro. Real talk though, T-1000 or fucking, you're talking straight up like original Terminator shit. Like, what would you rather be?
What's the fucking T-1000?
Isn't the T-1000 the one that's all liquid and two?
Liquid or Arnold? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with liquid, liquid.
But fucking T-1000, yup. Yup.
At least my dick stretches.
and it runs hot. Let me tell you what. Fucking warm a family for 3 in a fucking 3-bedroom with that dick. It's for real. You know what's really cool about clips nowadays for verbose is that I'm pirating a bunch of fucking TV. So I have access to C-SPAN right now, or C-SPAN. And C-SPAN's great. They fucking replay some interesting things. But what it is mostly is it just gives you unbridled what's coming out of their mouth at the moment. So you find some fucking great ass shit. And the greatest distraction we have going on in America right now is the whole fucking idea of Trump collusion. Like, no president before Trump had ever colluded to do something on the side to make money in a hustle. Fucking,
We're gonna
that's
impeach
all you
this guy.
motherfuckers.
And he didn't even get his dick sucked.
Not even once. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's Nixon too. That is for sure. El Japo. And he actually resigned from office.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I think there's one president like back in the 1800s as well that was impeached. But the biggest distraction right now is the whole idea of that. And if the two contenders that I really see in the ring, or the one big star, I guess, the arch nemesis of the whole thing, at least from the right leaning media, would be Adam Shifty Shift. And I want him to go first. You know, it's got to be appropriate rap battle. This next clip's beautiful, and this is a verbose.xyz exclusive. Well, maybe not this. This is boring ass Shifty Shift trying to riff. Let's hear him out and see what he says. Maybe he has America's best interest in mind. Who knows? Here we go.
It's a solemn day in the history of our country when the president's misconduct has compelled us to continue to move forward with an impeachment inquiry. The resolution today sets
I'm
out
so sad.
procedures going forward with that
Single
impeachment
tear.
process. The Founding Fathers understood that a leader might take hold of the Oval Office who would sacrifice the national security, who would fail to defend the Constitution, who would place his personal or political interests above the interests of the country. They understood that might happen.
My Constitution.
And they provided a mechanism to deal with it, and that mechanism is called impeachment.
Oh.
We take no joy in having to move down this road and proceed with the impeachment inquiry, but neither do we shrink from it. The resolution from the perspective of the Intelligence Committee sets out important procedures for how we may conduct our open hearings. During the depositions that we've conducted thus far, we've used a format that we believe very conducive to the fact-finding process. Those procedures now will be incorporated into the open hearings in which staff counsel will be permitted for lengthy periods of time to do sustained questioning for up to 45 minutes per side, followed by member questioning. We've used this, I think, to great success for both parties during the course of the depositions, where in the depositions we have alternated 1 hour for the majority, 1 hour for the minority, 45 minutes for the majority, 45 minutes for the minority. In those depositions, over 100 members have been eligible to participate. I should tell you that notwithstanding those that have complained about lack of access to the depositions, most of the members who have been permitted to attend have failed to attend, have not made use of the availability of attending each and every deposition. But those that have, on both sides of the aisle, have had an equal opportunity to question the witnesses. And indeed, when we move into
Who's the fucking whistleblower?
Both parties will have an equal opportunity to question.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Who the fuck's the whistleblower?
The resolution will also permit me, as the chair, to begin releasing the transcripts of the depositions. And I think that you will see when those are released just what equal opportunity members of both parties have had. We recognize the seriousness of this undertaking. We recognize
I better pause a lot so they understand the seriousness
we have been
of my
compelled
seriousness.
by the circumstances. When a president
God damn it, blog post.
abuses his or her office, when a president sacrifices the national interest
Pause.
when a president refuses to defend the Constitution
Pause.
and does so for the purpose
Guy
of
even coughed
advancing a
twice in that
personal
fucking pause.
or
Fuck.
political agenda. The founders
Pause.
provided the remedy. I make no prejudgment as to whether that remedy will be warranted when we finish these hearings. I will wait until all the facts are put forward.
Empty sentence. We
We
are
will
remedying. We
undertake
don't
this
know what the
duty with the
remedy will be
seriousness
at the
it
end of these
deserves
hearings. We are having
to the
these
best of
hearings
our
because of
ability.
remedies.
Thank you. And I now yield to the chair of the Judiciary
I
Committee.
now yield.
Mr. Nadler.
I yield. I yield. I yield. Yeah, you're gonna be yielding, bro. And
God.
it's such legal ease and fucking jargon and like, just floating deflections, of unending fucking for loops that go fucking nowhere. Do you believe him when he says he takes no joy in going forward with this proceeding?
No. But even if it doesn't go well, he's basing his whole political future on these moments.
I mean, there's no turning back from that, And that's the thing about Trump. His shit is so fucking airtight. It's like Roger Stone gave him the greatest gift, and that's the mindset of attack.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he's been doing it since the beginning.
yeah, and like we're just admiring the amazingness of AOC's legal team behind it, and Trump has a legal team and groups around him that do things crookedly and do things, just on the edge of bending the rules, and have done these things for a long time and for a lot of other people in other administrations. And even if they were breaking the law, they knew how to cover themselves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And even the ones that pled guilty, they know that they are taking a smaller charge and they're going to still come out rich as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if, within the public eye and within their seat, per se, they're still coming out and putting on this public face of like, oh, it's not about the money. Oh, this is happening. But they already have, investors lined up that have their money going into the right direction, and they're making a cut on the side of what's going on. It's just like the perpetuation of fucking, we're going to follow the money,
Yeah.
Fuck the American people. I want them greenbacks.
And
Fucking.
I don't know, is this investigation, it started so late in his presidency. I mean, will it run past election time? I mean, is it just meant to try to confuse things during the election? If he is impeached before the election, does he have to drop out and the Republican Party has to choose a new candidate? Does that delay the election? If he doesn't get elected at all and the Democrats win, whatever candidate, does the impeachment inquiry just stop because he's not in office anymore? I mean, there's so many questions.
I don't know. It kind of seems that way. Isn't that what happened with Nixon? Like he resigned as a result and was like he deuced out.
Well, the investigation was complete, and then the House and Senate voted to impeach him, and then he just resigned, and then he was pardoned by his vice president.
Right. That's right. Fucking, what's his name? Gerald Ford.
Yep, Gerald Ford.
Yeah, fucking crazy. Well, okay, we get to hear Adam Shifty Shift, right?
Shifty Shift.
But we got to hear the other side too, because that's the beautiful part. Is the other side is so passionate. I know I talk about this. I like right-leaning shit because it's fucking entertaining. It's beautiful. It's the Alex Jones Americana ideal is something that's like, it's fun to think about. It's like playing Red Dead Redemption 2. You really want to be, you can't be a cowboy. You just really want to be a fucking cowboy. So here's the cowboy attitude of Representative Doug Collins ripping a new one to Adam Shifty Shift. Here we go.
So I ask you as members of the media, how can the American people trust this Judiciary Committee, which the Speaker of the House doesn't trust, to handle an impeachment article? I tell you what, when it gets to the Judiciary Committee, I do have one thing for Mr. Schiff. If he wants to be, as said, a special counsel, he set himself up, then here's my challenge to Mr. Schiff. You want to be Ken Starr? Be Ken Starr. Come to the Judiciary Committee, be the first witness, and take every question asked of you. Starting with your own involvement with the whistleblower. Folks, this ain't over. get ready. The cloud that is dropping will be dropping on their heads because process matters and substance will always win out in the end, and this president has nothing to worry about on substance. I yield back.
It's so good, man. It's so fucking good. It's like it literally is professional wrestling. The cloud that will descend upon your party because of Adam Schiff.
Wow, what a drastic different way of speaking between the two parties or two candidates and examples here.
Indeed, and like clapping amongst approval and things like that. It almost feels like Roman court or something, as opposed to like this dry, stale librarian Democratic Party. Why do you think fucking Zoomers are going far right? It's because they're, right-leaning people seem cooler. It used to be the left-leaning people, because the left-leaning people used to believe in things like freedom, but now they believe in like, the government being your daddy or something.
Yeah,
I'm not into it.
The government needs to step in on everything. Someone's feelings are hurt. Someone did something wrong. The government needs to fix it. They make sure this doesn't happen again. Like forgetting that the world and life is rough. It's hard. It's a challenge. I mean, there's people who die every day. There's people who kill themselves. There's accidents. There's overdoses. There's so many things. And to expect the government to try to protect you is just forgetting what life was really supposed to be in the first place.
I mean, the government does the same fucking thing. We it's so funny because we think about like the young candidate, right? The young people taking over. The young people are dumb as fuck, trying to come in and fucking run shit. Y'all don't know. And the government too is, these representatives don't care that you put up millions of dollars sometimes as a campaign backer or a group of people. Fucking they're going to bounce out on the position if the fucking heat gets too hot, like that guy in Oregon. Or, for example, Katie Truppel Hill. That bitch had some pictures released or something. What happened with that shit?
Oh, yeah, she was having an affair with her staffer, a woman staffer. She's a woman. It's a lesbian love affair, but also a three-way with her husband. And then she had difficulties with her husband, and they were separated, and he released all these pictures and texts to the media, and then she was being investigated for ethics, and she resigned because possibly paying for rooms for her lover / aide and husband to have three ways in on taxpayer money.
So it's more about her using taxpayer money to gallivant around with hoes than it is about her being in a three-way relationship with her and her husband.
Yeah, and her aide.
Aide. Oh, right. Fuck.
Yeah, who's on her staff?
Because like I cut this clip up, but like you listen to her and it sounds like I was violated. They showed my pictures bit by bit.
The pictures are pretty juicy. I mean, there's some nudity. There's some sexual things going on.
Is there any dick sucking?
I can't confirm, but in my mind,
you also can't deny.
It was there, yeah. There was some shit going down in those pictures. They were
because like I thought three-ways were just two dudes and a chick. You know what I mean? Like it ain't gay if it is in three-way. Like
there was some lesbian ones for sure of her going down on her aide and her aide going down on her. That definitely
fucking vote for Katie Hill. We munch the carpet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like she felt wronged. I felt excited.
So this bitch she zucked herself. She's like, fuck this, I'm out. But on her way out, she definitely voted to fucking impeach Trump, let me tell you, or to move forward with the impeachment process. This is her on C-SPAN trying to talk shit on her way out. Here we go.
I'm leaving because there is only one investigation that deserves the attention of this country, and that's the one that we voted on today. Today, I ask you all to stand with me and commit to creating a future where this no longer happens to women and girls. Yes, I'm stepping down, but I refuse to let this experience scare off other women who dare to take risks, who dare to step into this light, who dare to be powerful.
Consenting adult.
They might feel like they won in the short term, but they can't
she should
in the long term.
at all.
We cannot let them.
Yeah,
The way to
again,
overcome this
this is
setback
fucked
for
up.
women
It's
to
like
keep
you're
showing
being
up,
so
to
selfish.
keep
My
running for
feelings,
office,
I'm
to
out.
keep stepping up as
Yeah,
leaders.
I think
Because
she
the
should ask
more
the
we
question,
show up,
who
the
said you
less
can't
power they
plan a
have.
campaign and eat a pussy at
I'm
the same
leaving,
time?
but we have men
True.
who have been credibly accused of intentional acts
Bill
of
Clinton can
sexual
run
violence
that.
and remain
Yeah.
in boardrooms, on the
What's the
Supreme
big deal
Court,
here?
in
Equal
this
rights,
very body,
equal
and worst of all, in
crotches.
the Oval Office. So the fight goes on to create the change that every woman and girl in this country deserves.
Yeah,
Here
getting
in the halls
eaten
of
out by
Congress,
her
the
best
fight
friend.
will go on without me.
While her
And I
husband
trust
wants
so
it.
many of my colleagues to be strong on this front while I move on to one of the many other battlefields, because we have an entire culture that has to change, and we see it in stark clarity today. The forces of revenge by a bitter, jealous man, cyber exploitation, and sexual shaming that target our gender and a large
be
segment
shamed.
of society
Shaming
that
is a
fears
personal
and
choice.
hates powerful
You know?
women
Yeah.
There's
have
a lot
combined
worse
to push
things
a
out
young
there
woman
that
out of
other
power
women have to
and
live
say
with.
that she doesn't belong here. Yet a man who brags about his sexual predation, who's had dozens of women come forward to accuse him of sexual assault, who pushes
Now publicly
policies that are
shaming him.
uniquely harmful to women, and who has filled the courts
Eye for
with
an eye.
judges who proudly
He
rule
deflected really
to
good.
deprive
He was
women
like,
of the most
"Yeah, sure,
fundamental
I've said
right
some
to
shit,
control
but Bill
their own
Clinton
bodies," sits in the highest office of the land.
Who are you
So
talking about?
today,
Nancy
with my
Pelosi?
last vote,
Like she's
I
like,
voted
I
on
grab
impeachment
pussy,
proceedings,
but fuck him
not
for
just
grabbing
because
pussy.
of corruption, obstruction of justice, or gross misconduct, but because of the deepest abuse of power, including the abuse of power over
The
women.
problem here is prudence.
Today,
and everyone
as my
faking
final
like
act,
they don't like sex
I voted to
and
move
nudity.
forward
Because
with
everyone
the
loves that
impeachment
shit.
of Donald
Everyone.
Trump on behalf of the women of the United States of America.
Oh, here we go.
We will not stand down. We will not be broken. We will not be silenced. We will rise, and we will make tomorrow better than today.
With
Thank
tits.
you, and I yield the balance of my
With tits.
time
If
for
you
now,
take tits away,
but
bitch.
not forever.
Oh my God, Civil War, fucking Civil War. I'm telling you right now, I'm Alex Jones.
Civil-
if there are
free
no
from
tits
again.
on this fucking internet, I will kill every motherfucker in this country.
I yield the podium now, but not forever.
Oh,
This
God.
fucking bitch.
Wow.
Give me a fucking. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
She's super young too. She's like 32, and
Yeah.
you're fucking bowing out because you had a fucking threesome with your husband and spent some people, spent some campaign funds. You spent a bunch of people that canvassed really hard for you's money, and then fucking, whatever. I'm sure there's so many more skeletons in like Biden's closet or something like that. Or even Donald Trump. Or even fucking Hillary. Look at Hillary Clinton. Look at fucking Bill Rapist Clinton. For fuck's sake. He still is publicly available. Like, you have a long, treacherous career ahead of you. Why are you bowing out now? And, for motherfucking sake, you are the representative in fucking California. I bet there's people in quadruples out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet there's people that live in hippie communities that shit on each other's chests and then fuck it. That has to exist. It's California. It's fucking California.
I'm sure most people do that out there.
And I'm sure that like even Arnie went out there and fucking took a campaign donation or two and spent it on a box of cigars. Bitch, you took a vacation. So what? Now you took a vacation from the political discourse where you could have actually made a fucking difference. And that position still lays motherfucking vacant. Let that sink in. You know what I mean? Fuck. Like, I'm leaving because Orange Man bad in my shame.
Yeah. Orange Man's just like my ex-husband, who is also a sexual predator. Like, I mean, I always put down Trump, especially for his sexual exploits, but like these are, in the sense of humanity, these are pretty normal things. And as long as you're not fucking Jeffrey Epsteining people, not killing them, but getting underage people, it's fine. As long as there's consenting adults, it's great. It's great.
It's interesting that you bring up Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, did you know that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself?
He did not. No way in fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
He was murdered.
I fucking love that that's a meme now. I was watching InfoWars the other day, and fucking they have a recording. Like Alex Jones does that ghetto ass shit where he'll like record Fox News with his camera, with his phone, his camera on his phone and shit. And it was literally this this like Marine dude or something like that, special ops dude, that was talking about like how he's training German Shepherds and like, you know, be a responsible dog owner. And oh, by the way, fucking Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, like live on Fox News.
Nice.
And I'm like, this meme is exploding into fucking mainstream media. And there's a large contingency of people, including normies, that think motherfucking this bitch was murked because he knew too much about, you know, had too much dirt on all the people that he led to his fucking pedo parties.
I mean, like every single news organization, every single person who watches the news, which is most of the fucking country, or at least reads it somewhere, was aware who Jeffrey Epstein was, what he was charged with, what we all thought he was doing, of how the rich people he was connected to, and somehow the guards in the prison just didn't know and just fucking, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Fuck it, whatever. This guy's cool.
Let's turn off the cameras before we go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of all people, yeah, the 2 cameras pointed to cell are malfunctioning and the guards are asleep and not at their fucking posts. My fucking ass. That makes no goddamn sense. Like, there's no way that everyone in the country knew this guy and knew what the fucking information he had, and these guards just ignored it. That's impossible.
Jeffrey Epstein's death was an inside job. And who else to fucking expose the world to it but Project Veritas?
Yeah.
This clip, I think, came out, I think I saw it 2 days ago or a day ago on Fox News, but this is fresh from the teat of the conspiracy goodness, Project Veritas. And this is a hot mic on ABC and a broadcaster admitting that they had the information on Epstein 3 years ago. So literally ABC turned a blind eye while, you know, hundreds of more innocent girls were abused for years on end. Good job, bitches. Here's the clip.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways.
Prince Andrew, another
we were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get on to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
I had it all 3 years ago. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And she's coming at it from a straight like business. I'm a reporter. Like I could have made so much money off that shit. You know, that seems what her inflection is. It's not like fucking we could have stopped this pedophile. I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing a spin there. I don't fucking know. But regardless, it's so crazy that there was no one. You know, it was only in like NBC with the whole Weinstein thing that there were whistleblowers that came out and like wrote books and, you know, tried to make noise and tried to get people involved in it. Weinstein and who's the other motherfucker that was on the Today Show? You know who I'm talking about. Matt Lauer. Yeah. And then, but then like ABC's been harboring this information on Jeffrey Epstein. Like that's fucking crazy. You know, like literally, what, as she put it in there, one of the most prolific child molesters in history ever that the world has ever fucking seen.
And
they just let it go.
And Alex Jones has been talking about the motherfucker for years, maybe a decade.
Shout out to Alex Jones.
Saying they're calling it the Lolita Express. I mean, he's been talking about this for a very long time. This is not some brand new fucking information. It's just new to hit mainstream.
Yeah. but evidence being there, things that'll never be fucking recovered ever again. And yet we're willing to turn a blind eye because the money involved and the people that are involved and fucking the politics that are involved and the control and power that's involved. It's not ever about the victim. It's about how do we use this crisis to our advantage. The people that control us are the most fucked up ever. And this is where I give shout outs to Alex Jones, because even back in the fucking end game days, you were throwing it down like we gotta be strong as a people and realize that our rulers are the ones that are trying to fucking take us down. Now it's turned into you can trust this ruler over this ruler. Fuck you. Don't trust any ruler. Only live in such a way that suits you and your community.
Kill your masters.
Fuck. If AJ didn't throw it down for incitement, we do here at verbose.xyz. If you can't beat him, join him. I'm just saying. So yeah, fuck Jeffrey Epstein. Fuck y'all. Fuck ABC. Project Veritas, you're cool. What do you think about Project Veritas, though? I don't know much about it, but it seems kind of anonymous-y, kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it seems like I've done a little bit of research. It seems kind of funded and directed and propagandized and kind of right-leaning, and they're kind of like sitting on like the tech whistleblowers who are protecting the left and going against the right, and like that's kind of, and now they're adding this whole Epstein thing. So I really don't know where they're going completely, but they claim to be like WikiLeaks, a whistleblower organization, which I can't deny WikiLeaks still is. But they definitely had a kind of a right-leaning spin to a lot of their stuff too. That they didn't. I don't feel they released everything they had.
Word. I obviously not and I feel like the world will never know really how far it's gone. And where is this witness that they bring up? Why haven't we heard from her now? After all said and done, it's just interesting how people have kind of faded out. And the narrative just keeps getting squashed, even in his death. Like during his life, it was all this, red tape that fucking swallowed him and was able to hide him for a while until he was pulled out from his disgusting cave in New York and then, drugged back through the courts. It's almost like it was a setup to get him into jail to murder him in the first place. I don't know. Maybe.
Or just a contingency, that they always knew if it ever came to this, for anybody in that kind of group that that's the outcome.
So we haven't talked about border shit in a while. I kind of want to, we might talk about a little bit about that because the radio was very insightful. I hope that's a word. Inciting on the way home as well. Even here locally, it's this idea that the cartels are out to get us. But do you think there's relevance in that? And like what's going on in Mexico seems like a real war, and that's super close to us. Do we get involved? Do we go to war with Mexico? Do we go to war with Mexican cartels? Even if the president's like, no, we have to do this peacefully. The president of Mexico, that is.
Oh, Trump is saying now that he wants to go to war with Mexico. He wants to go to war with the cartels. That those 9 Mormons, 3 women and children were murdered by a cartel member or multiple members yesterday, and now it seems that all the Mexicans dying there wasn't a big deal, but a couple white people died and it's on.
But New Mexico has its tragedies. Who is that chick in fucking in Albuquerque that she was like her remains are burned and shit? It was like Victoria something.
I don't remember.
It was like 4 years ago. This really young girl on her 10th birthday, brutally, after forensics, obviously raped by several different men, over 5, and then fucking dismembered and burnt. The spin on the radio is that the mother sold the daughter to cartel members that fucking gave them drugs, but then in exchange for essentially sacrificing her daughter. to them. And you know what I mean? And then like the radio was going on and talking. This is like KIVA, fucking right leaning radio in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and fucking this shit literally going on as far as like correlating some cartels to devil worship. Have you heard it? Have you ever heard of that? Cartels that worship the devil?
I mean,
Or
I've heard about
gangs
the Santa Muerta, the Saint Death, and a lot of them kind of worship that, believe that sacrifices and providing heads or skulls or body parts to it, like, will protect them.
Whoa, that's fucking crazy. And these are the same people we've seen footage of recently in the streets with, weapon grade, fully automatic, high caliber weapons, throwing it down like hardened, battle tested criminals in the street trying to fight for El Chapo. That's insane to me. This is happening right next door. Now, you hear these things, and I still have one more clip, but fuck it, we're gonna go on this trip. You hear these things about like cartel and violence and possible war and fucking all these insightful things. This is just an inciting show. That border security is more of a threat to America as a whole, or the same level of concern, same policies, keep things, open the border up, fuck it. What do you think?
I mean, don't open the fucking border. I mean, at this point, there's a violent, element down there that pretty much controls the whole state. I mean, they arrested El Chapo's son, and they started pretty much a war in the city, and demanded his release and got it. I mean, there's no rule of law down there. There's no, the military and police are ineffective. To be able to allow people in from down there would only have to be in refugee status, and then we're going to have to figure out a way to control it.
I mean, it just seems like this is an area where you'd have to vet pretty hard. Asylum in these kind of times would be kind of hard because it might create, a gaping wide hole for fucking insurgents.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I think that's a good talking point for border security. This is going to be a Trump election. It's fucking crazy. And the world loves Trump. The fucking world loves Trump. America hates Trump. But any of like the first world countries, believe you me, they fucking love Trump. And I have a good example of this here. Very interesting video that I found on Bloomberg, and trying to keep it varied around here. I don't think I even have any Fox News tonight. Congratulations, you guys avoid Fox News clips tonight. Fucking, I kind of like that. Fox is too easy. Their shit's too fun. You could just go watch Fox News clips yourself. Fuck it, you know what I mean? But this clip is from Bloomberg, and I've never heard of this guy before. His name is Ahmed bin Salayem. He's a CEO for BP, or DP. That's fucking, I just thought of that. He's a CEO for DP. DP being Dubai Ports. It's essentially like one of the biggest ports of entry and trade hubs in fucking the Middle East. It wasn't a thing ever, and he worked there, a low level, worked his way up, and essentially took over the whole thing. But this is how. So this is on Bloomberg. He's cornered in this fucking there. It's the trades going on there and whatever. It's a bunch of Saudi dudes and the fucking the head thing on and fucking wearing all white, walking around. It looks like a bunch of oil tycoons fucking crawling through the place. This guy actually pulls up and has a little bit to say about Brexit, which is something we don't really talk about a lot on the show, but I think is big for the political scene, or the political play, international political playing field. He also talks a little bit about China and possible trade deals with the USA. So this is a very interesting perspective. Here we go.
Concern to financial institutions, which is a big problem. So today, banks are reluctant to lend because they don't know, with this war of basically economic sanction against each other, is it going to make these loans bad loans? Now, I am confident from our experience that the United States and China will eventually make an agreement. We see it happening, but you have to understand and accept China is a big country, and the Chinese are known to have a lot of patience and wisdom. And Trump is representing the largest economy, and he's a negotiator.
So you see a substantial trade deal coming to bear. Do you think you'll see an immediate turn in volumes if a deal is done?
If a deal is done, we will see a lot of improvement in the market.
Will you break? You've had 6 straight quarters of where you've seen volumes down. Is that what will turn the key for you?
Let me tell you, actually, all our results show improvement. Marginal, but better than many places. The reason with us is that we are diversified. 82 terminals, we don't get affected in one place. However, I anticipate if there is a deal, you will see a surge of product, because today Chinese companies are reducing what they export, or they are not committing, but they don't know. A shipment could be in the way to America, and a resolution to stop it could happen. So that disturbs the market. But I am confident that those two giants are going to come to an agreement.
Brexit is one of the hottest
China and America going to do
in
it.
The world. How important to the world is it that a Brexit deal is agreed and runs smoothly for the UK?
It's very, very important. We are one of the largest investors in UK. We invested over £1.5 billion in London Gateway. The problem with Brexit issue is nobody want to make a decision. And this is disturbing the market. United Kingdom is a very strong economy, well-respected stock market, well-respected legal system. Everything is going so well for them. I wish they come together to agree either way.
If there is a deal, would you put more money to work in the UK? If there was the right opportunity, would you put more money to work in the UK if there's a smooth deal?
I'm telling you, I have a deal I'm putting on hold already.
You have a deal on hold?
I have a deal to expand what's on hold until they decide. Because today, if you go to any bank to lend you money in UK, they don't know. Are we going to be out or in? Are we going to have a deal or not? This is the questions that is asked by the banks. So I really believe the sooner they make this deal to bed, the better. The more that it lingers, the more it disturbs the market.
How important is a good free trade agreement for the UK, which is the next stage of the discussions?
I'm telling you, any deal, as long as they decide. The problem with UK today, nobody decided. They want to go with a deal, without a deal, with no deal, or stay. These are all options. These are all in the air. And until they decide, there is no visibility for us. I have a major investment in UK. The second major investment we ever do. And we are waiting. We're waiting until somebody decides. And we get hopes when we hear the news. A deal is done. And then suddenly it's not done. And then again it's done. This is disturbing the market, distorting the visibility.
Do you think it's disturbing other global investors from putting money into the UK?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People need to come where a place they know the rules are going to continue.
So, 2 takeaways for me here. Like, UK, it seems like they're suffering from the same thing that we are. They're so engulfed in their like identity politics and like their presence and what they represent. They're missing out on one of the reasons that they're having this deal to begin with, and that's to like have fair trade for people, for actual the commerce there. Instead, you've put it on hold, which essentially damned if you do, damned if you don't in this situation. The second takeaway is like fucking none of the world gives a fuck about how you deal with this. They just want to fucking trade with you again. So you come up with a deal through fucking what the fuck, the overlord Illuminati, they're gonna do business with the Illuminati, or they're gonna do business with you directly. They don't give a fuck. They're trying to make money on your goods. Fucking do something. You know what I mean? The fuck. And you know the story, right? Of the back and forth of Brexit. It's literally like it's been before the Parliament like 5 or 6 times, and each time it's like, oh, we're gonna come to this resolution, and then it's tabled, essentially, and they just keep pushing it and delaying it. Interesting consequence, though. What do you think?
Maybe that's the overall goal, is that they're trying to limit the international trade and stuff like that to isolate themselves. Maybe that's the goal of Brexit overall. And the longer they hold out, the less impact Brexit will actually be, since they'll already be so isolated from international trade.
Wow. A collapse of a major mainstay in Western civilization. Easy way to usher in a new world order. You know who would fucking say shit about a new world order? Alex Jones. I like to call Alex Jones AJ. And I made this clip just for you, Crafter. I call it AJ Gets Incited. See what I did there?
I think this is all funny, what's going on, all you little leftist followers. You're going to pay for this, too, if this goes to the next level. You're going to pay either way. But I'm telling you, this is sick. We've put up with evil far too long in this country. We come back and finish up how they plan to take Trump out and how we stop him. We can do it. It's up to us, though. You understand? It's up to you.
It's up to you. Give it up for Alex Jones. Please, for motherfucking sake, come on our show one day. We want to ride your shitwave coattails directly into a deal with Mossad. Also, I got to give a big shout out to Israel. You guys, fucking, you're doing a great job out there. It's amazing.
Shout out to Mashiach.
Yeah, we want Mashiach now. I think that's ultimately what we're trying to say here. Palestine, you motherfuckers holding it down over there. That would be the greatest thing, man. An actual peace deal in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine. That would be amazing. And that would be true humanitarian, putting our religious differences aside, understanding that we're actually human beings and fucking treating each other as such. I see so many disturbing videos of how people are treated out there. It fucks me up. But it takes 2 to tango, Palestine. You trying to fucking come in there and fucking retaliate. It ain't going to fucking do you any good either, But I dig on the Gaddafi over Gandhi aspect of things. But Egypt, bisexual as fuck. Gotta say that. Straight Palestine. More than anything, the gay is motherfucking real. Shout out to Alex Jones. I can't say that enough. Thank you for fucking being in existence. You tune into our media platform. We exist all over the internet. We're infecting your airwaves. We're taking up your bandwidth. And we're pumping out to you as real as we possibly motherfucking can. We also like giving you a little bit of the taste of the ignorance. Why? The juxtaposition allows you to have a better taste for what the human struggle really is all about. Rising up from the most thick of primordial ooze to the most complex of being living within the collective consciousness. That's the simulation, Holmes. Miles Lobert here, hanging out with Crafter. We out, motherfuckers. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. Digging her back while I'm gripping her side. Digging my back, this ain't regular size. You really fly, we like pelican guys. Bitch, you ain't slick, I can tell her the skies. Upgrade at my wrist, put her gas in the sky. She think I might sign her and change her whole life. I told her to goggle and work on her highs. Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the notch. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't fox. We call them Chaucer cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause her pussy pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Cash, money, cash, Anna, burn, so much. I don't wanna, but it is by myself. I just
passed it to the door. I took the Billy Cool back, then I hopped in the car. I put this bitch in front of the Billy in front of the driver. And man, this shit that is weedy, can't smoke in the road. Right, wow. I'm still double cut up, I'm drinking, I shoot off the tires. I'm in the coupe by myself. I had to kick her though when I was 5. Keep the old ones on the shelf. Sitting around in the fan. I'm sick and tired of the young niggas act like they fine and telling them lies. Acting like they the one created this and they get all this drip from my guys. Yeah, Cartier eyes, Cartier cuff, Cartier as the watch. Cartier love, Cartier the dot. Cartier spec buffalo on the side. Prison cut diamonds, they Cartier, yeah. Cartier bad for the Cartier thought. Sky ring look cool with 200 the dash. Cartier jeans, ain't no way I can say. Ain't no way I'm ever gonna go out. Man, I can't go out, no way I'm gonna go out. I just grip on her ass and I show out. I sit like a champ and I wait on her whole lot. I just whip up a new Chanel paddock. I whip it the wrist and I don't break the door out. Turn the whole top floor to a whole house. 100 racks and one, 2 bought the flood out. Cat, money, king, Anna, burn, I don't wanna, but it is by myself. I just passed it to the door. It's lit.
I like the 504 boys, how I move through the lobby. Since 12, the flame been hot just to show you the time frame. 100 mil down on my desk, but I'm still up deciding. Mashing M's in my account to the truck in my driveway. I'm in that photo by myself. Know it's 100 more niggas outside. Know they gon' ride to the death. Had some good years, ain't no way I get tired. I gotta do what I feel. Every day Super Bowl, fuck it, oh well. I put a lot on myself. In there for Richard Mill, I'm like Odell. Let's go. She slid ahead, now my business to grab a torpedo. I had to go back and legal my slides like I'm 13-0. I told her, baby, this not the remix, this is a part of the sequel. No, we not living the same, we not making the same, we not equal. Yeah. Lil' mama can fly, had some troubles, put that shit in the sky. Thought the angels know the devil would try. It's so hot, you thought Paris Hilton done said it. When we come out, we can't help but leave damage. After party, astro roll at the planet. Laid the map out, but they didn't understand it. When I'm home, know that I fuck on a Grammy. Yeah.